Alright, what's up guys, Monkey Napkin here, and today we are playing Forza Horizon 3 again, and I decided to make this video specifically because some people were asking me. I only did S1, S2, and A class for the best circuit slash sprint races, and come to find out that in this game they have also B, C, and D class, which I had no idea about. I had no clue that was even in the game, because in Forza Horizon 2 it was only S1, S2, and A class. So I'm gonna be making this video specifically to show you guys the data on the D, the C, and the B class cars, because like I said, I had no idea that was even in the game. But for this video we're gonna go D, then C, then B, because you know that's the order that they have it set up in class. At least that's the order they have it in. Before I even start this video, I just want to say thank you guys for commenting on the other video, and I'm glad that video got a lot of love. A lot of people, joined on to, the channel from that video and the how to make money fast video, and I'm really happy that people are commenting saying like, oh, they tried this car and it's been pretty good, because I have been reading comments and telling some people like, yeah, this car is pretty good. It was actually really close, because a lot of the cars are pretty close. But the one thing that I had a problem with was some people were saying like that my data was wrong, or not my data, but collectively our data was wrong. Most of those comments also said they tuned their own car, saying that this was faster than any other car. And the big thing that I had a problem with because of that is, in each of my videos I do say, or at least the Forza videos, I say you can tune your car to be like the best car ever, and it could be the fastest car ever, no matter what class it is, no matter what class it's in. In those videos, we don't tune any cars. Like, we specifically don't tune any cars. We just upgrade them as much as we can to the point where it stays in that class, and it's still probably the fastest with upgrades. But it's no tuning whatsoever. So people who are saying that my data is wrong and that they tune their own car, yeah, of course your car is going to be faster because you tuned it. Like I said, you could tune any car and it can be ridiculously fast. But for future reference, like if it happens on this video, I just want to tell people this is going to be D, C, and B class without tuning. It's just the upgrades. That's what our data is based off of. And this is from multiple races and all this other stuff, because I know a lot of people are saying like this is the fastest S1 car and they've tuned it every kind of way, and like they've gotten this results. This is the fastest down to like the millisecond. One, at the time period we're at now, this game has been out for what? It came out in September, say like 2 months. As many cars as it is in this game, and as many increments of tuning of every type or every part of tuning that is in this game, there's honestly no way for you to have tuned every car in each class to whatever class it can go to and say that that car is the best. It's gonna take a while for someone to actually tune it every kind of way to see what's actually best. So people who are saying like this is the fastest, that might not be the fastest. You may be able to tune even faster, you just haven't figured it out yet. Or there may be a tune out there that someone else has done that's even faster than yours. You just have to keep tuning, and then eventually, yeah, you'll be like, okay, this is like the fastest tune. But it's gonna take a lot of time in order for you to test all the cars to every class, to every type of tune, to everything. That's just how it is. But we're gonna start this video. So what we got from these videos, we did the same test that we did in the other video with the S1, S2, and A class cars, and we actually found out that this also applied in this category and D category. But as you can see, in the D category, it goes all the way down to 100, all the way up to 400 or 300, or wow, okay, sorry about that, to 500. And then once you get past 500, it gets to C. So this does kind of apply in this too, since 499 technically is where D ends. You want to get anything like 399 and under. And what we found to be the best, at least for D class, because it's a little bit different than S1, S2, and A class, because S1, S2, and A class cars are actually, they're already really fast, so all you have to really tune for in sprint and circuit races is like, handling. So you can turn better, you can brake better, stuff like that. Well, braking doesn't really matter as much because drifting and all this other stuff, but you mostly want good handling, and I guess as a secondary thing, good braking. So that's what you want to look for in these cars, but that's what you want to like upgrade for. So one of the main things that you're gonna need, because these cars are already slow, and even when you put upgrades on it, they're gonna be slower. Most of these cars are slow enough to where your handling doesn't matter as much as it should. Meaning, you want to look for cars that are already really fast and the handling doesn't actually have to matter yet. It's just once you put the upgrades on, you kind of want to go mainly for speed, because you want that car to be as fast as possible, because it won't get up to like S1, S2 class speed. Like I don't think, from what we've tested, there's no D class car that could be as fast as a S1 class car, or maybe even an A. There might be like 1 or 2 A cars that are extremely slow, even after you upgrade them. So for most of the D class cars, and also C class, B is a little bit different, but for this D class car, or D class cars, you want to look for a car that has the highest speed and pretty high acceleration, but not like extremely high to where your handling is at like a 1. So you want to kind of go in the middle. But like, so since this goes up to $499, you kind of want something in the $399 to $299 range, like in the 300 range pretty much. And the fastest car that we found was actually the Fiat Dino 2.4 Coupe. This upgraded will get you, it'll still be like, if you get it up to the highest D, like up to that D, that sounds so stupid, but if you get it to the highest D, meaning like in the 400 range, this car will be the best without tuning. This is just upgrades. This car will be the best. When I say without tuning, I mean like this will be with the upgrades will be the new base. Like this is the base car right now, no upgrades, nothing on it. When you upgrade it, it'll be your new base for tuning, and it'll be the best car to tune to become a very fast D-class car. That's how we do this. Fiat Dino 2.4 Coupe 1969, probably the best bet in sprint and circuit races for D-class. For these C-class cars, I'll just jump ahead. Again, it's the same way. C-class goes from 600 to 500. So you want to find something in the D-class, but in that 400 range. That's what you want to do. So for this one, this was kind of a tricky thing, because there are a lot of cars who have like really high acceleration and then their speed's kind of under, but then there are cars who have really high speed but their acceleration's kind of low. Honestly, it was kind of a tricky pick, I guess, between a lot of these cars, because there's also another thing you have to think about, is that some of these cars, because of their weight distribution, which I didn't even think really played a part in a lot of the cars, but some of their weight distribution actually makes the cars really difficult to turn, and you don't want to have a car that can't turn in a sprint or circuit race, obviously. And normally that's not very important, because these cars are already slow enough to where you should be able to get around any turn at a good speed. But some of these cars, like, they even feel like they're gonna turn over. It's crazy. If you're going fast enough, it feels like these cars will turn over. But the biggest C-class car, one was definitely the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am was a good one, because that acceleration is actually, it's good enough to where its top speed isn't like that detrimental. So the Firebird was definitely a good one. Pontiac Firebird Trans Am 1977, that was a good one. And the other one was actually the Chevrolet Bel Air. These two were the best C-class cars. Chevrolet Bel Air 1957. Those two were definitely the best. Chevrolet Bel Air and the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Those two really good cars, really good C-class cars. And for B-class, we're gonna go into the C-class. Now, for this one, don't use the Lotus 11. A lot of people use the Lotus 11 because they think in Forza Horizon 2, this was one of the fastest drag cars. So people think it'll be good in a race. It is not. It is not good in a race. See, like, its acceleration is 6.6, speed is 5, but once you tune it, it gets crazy fast. But no, like, even in this game, I have it as a drag car, and it's pretty fast. It gets to, I think, like, I want to say like 274. I have a Lotus 11 that gets to 274 miles per hour. But no, don't use it in a sprint race. You're not gonna be able to turn. But for this one, for the B-class cars, this is what I meant by it's gonna be a little bit different. These cars are actually pretty fast. So you kind of want to find a medium between them. You still want to go for C class to make a B class car, but you do want a medium, meaning you do want some speed and you do want some pretty good handling. Braking is not going to matter as much because the handling should be good enough to where your speed isn't too fast where you need to constantly brake when you get on a turn. You want really a medium between speed and handling, and I guess acceleration. It's mostly speed and handling because, again, a lot of the C-class cars are pretty fast. In terms of acceleration, they're already pretty fast. So honestly, out of this one, it really did come down to personal preference, because some of these cars as a base, they get a lot of similar results after you tune them. It doesn't matter if you even tune them or not. They get a lot of similar results after you upgrade them to keep them in that B class range. All the things like the Chevrolet Nova Super Sport. Actually, remember this one. This one had like crazy high acceleration, and after you upgrade it, the acceleration went up even more. The handling was just enough to keep up with the speed, and the speed like shot up like crazy. I think the speed got to like 7.3 or something like that, and this car was really fast. But the downside was, like I said, with the other cars that you need to make a C-class car, some of them, their weight distribution is off. So this car, yeah, sometimes it felt like it was going to turn over, and when you went over little humps, it would like bounce, and it just would not like it wouldn't feel like a good car. It doesn't feel like a good car, and that's why I'm saying it comes down to personal preference, because like this car had a downside, which was its weight distribution, but like the Lexus SC300 had pretty even across speed, handling, and acceleration. When you upgraded it, it was still pretty even, and it was a pretty good car, but it was slower than the Chevrolet Nova Super Sport. So this comes down to personal preference. I guess if I had to put it in a category, I would say like a top 3 type of thing, which I would say definitely the Chevrolet Nova Super Sport 1966. I would say this car. Just try not to get on a bumpy road. Like, don't do off-road on this car at all. The Lexus SC300, like I said, there's always downsides to all of these cars. So someone may have a car that's too fast, so it sucks on turns. So, you know, they're flying, and while they're braking, they're trying to like slow down so they can make that turn, and you just kind of go right past them. It's such an all-around car that it's actually a very good pick for the online adventure. Another one was definitely the, oh man, because I love this car, the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. Definitely, this car is so fast. For people who have ever played, GTA, the Lotus in that game, I forgot what it was called in that game. The Voltic. There we go, the Voltic. For people who had the Voltic and they used it, that car got to its top speed so fast, and it was good at races. People didn't think it was, because a lot of the races in GTA have like a lot of straightaways, but in races where there are like a bunch of turns, I always pick that car, because that car's acceleration was so fast. And I would definitely say that the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 1970, this car is just like the Voltic. It picks up speed so fast that it doesn't even matter that its speed is like lower than a lot of the other cars. And like I said, with the tunes, or not with the tunes, but the upgrades, it does increase speed, and the handling is actually pretty good on the car. It can't keep up with the speed. I would say that the tires itself kind of go kind of crazy, like the wheel spin and stuff with acceleration. But again, that's just, the heck, there's ice cream man outside. I don't know if you guys hear that, but yeah, the ZR1, definitely a good car. Those would be my top 3, like for the B class. So hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. Remember, these are just the upgraded cars. You can tune any one of these cars and they will be, you know, a great car. It just depends on how you tune. You have to really mess around with it. That's what a lot of people, you know, that's the big appeal to this game, is people tuning, learning how to tune. Once they learn how to tune, it's like, man, I can make any kind of car like great, whether you want to do drift, drag, sprint, circuit. It depends on you. You could even make a car. I know someone made like a Hummer. I don't know. They made it like where it kind of bounced, and people were playing King of the Hill. I think it's King of the Hill. I want to say it's like the King thing where you have the crown, and you know you're running around trying not to get tagged, or is it tag, or I don't know. That game mode, they made a Hummer where they did something with the tire pressure, and they made it where the car would bounce. And it was weird because when it like bounced off the ground, and they were dodging cars, like they were stopping, braking, stopping, like hydraulics, and they would bounce and the car would go over it. It was the craziest thing ever, and it was awesome. And then they told me it was just a tune that they picked for that car, and that's the reason why they used it in like the Playground Games playlist on Online Adventure. But yeah, man, you could tune a car to be ridiculous in any aspect of the game. But that's the big appeal to this game. But like I said, if you guys like this video, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. Share it with your friends so they can see what kind of cars are pretty good, at least base cars, like with the upgrades, the base car for tuning. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya. See you guys later.